So it's here, after much waiting, we finally got our hands on the Honeycomb Aeronautical Alpha Flight Controls. You guys may have seen this, but I live in the UK and it hasn't been in stock for ages, so I'm so excited to get my hands on this and take a look, and I can only thank you guys. Let's get this box undone and let's get this yoke set up. Be careful with your knives, by the way. Here we go. Oh, that does sound good. Oh my goodness. And ooh. Well guys, here we go, get that rubbish off my desk now. Alpha Flight Controls, Yoke and switch panel, Honeycomb Aeronautical. Box is a bit scuffed in the corners. But anyway, let's get this bad boy opened. Look at that, guys, doesn't it look magnificent? Right, so first thing in the box, we've got a construction manual and some screws there. Simulation company, don't know what that means. Also got the wire from your PC to the yoke, of course. And you got this that goes between the yoke and the back of the yoke and the switch panel. Not overly a lot of leeway there, but I'm sure it'll be good. Now this is what starts to look really cool now. We've got our backing plate. It's been a bit of dirt on there, but I'm sure that's fine. It's just a bit sticky, so I guess it's got stuff in production. There we go, guys. That does look magnificent. And now the thing you're waiting for, I'm going to put this down on the floor. This. Oh, much bigger than I thought, not going to lie. It's longer than I thought. Let me show you guys. There we go. You guys can get a good look at that now. Very, very heavy. I guess this is to not make it get scratched, and take a look at these switches now. They feel real nice, a bit plasticky, but you know, good quality. Lights feel even better. Look at this. There we go. Oh my goodness, this is so much fun, I'm loving it. Got a trim switches here as well. Got a hat button on the top here. And also if I move this yoke forward, you can see without hitting it on the side. Full 180-degree rotation, which is of course one of its main selling points. And also, wow, good pitch as well, but we need to bolt this down. So let's get this bolted down now. Get that out of the way. We'll get this mount, I guess, around here. And these are the things we need. So the good thing about this is that it's pretty easy to move about, from what I say. But we've got quite a bit of way to go with the mount, so let's fast forward this now. And will this do it? No, it won't, just a bit more. That's proper quality there, I can just feel it. Right, okay, we'll get this mounted up. Getting it very close to my legs. I don't want it 100% straight. I can of course sort it out later. But yeah, I'm really loving this so far, guys. Lot of fun. It looks very nice. It feels very nice. Bit loose on the roll, not too loose to be honest, but definitely good on the pitch as well. So good on your elevators. Yeah, it wouldn't take too long to move off as well, and of course you can take the yoke off. So I mean, if you've got work to do, then it's definitely doable. Right, there we go. Get this clamped on. That, my friends, is not going anywhere. I just shake the microphone, but you know, I don't want to push that too hard because then it starts going into my desk. But that is certainly secure. Now what you're going to do is, of course, find the bolt. Oh, this is quite trial and error, not going to lie. So there we go, we've got the yoke installed now. All we need to do is get this wire, plug it into the Ethernet port here, and plug it into the back of the yoke over here. And there we go guys, we've got the main yoke installed. Let's get this set up now and rebuild my setup. Okay, so here we are. I've got my Honeycomb yoke sitting in front of me. I have to say, it does take up quite a bit of my desk. However, so far, no problems, no crashing when I've loaded up Microsoft Flight Simulator. You may be wondering why I've got my old HOTAS throttle here. That is because I haven't got a new throttle quadrant yet, but hey, I'm sorting that one out. So I'll be using that for power today. Luckily, I've invested in a wireless keyboard and mouse, so I mean, it's nice to have a slightly cleaner desk than a wired keyboard. So you can see we get alpha flight controls up here. It does come pre-assigned, although most of the time you are going to want to change them, which is what I've done with some of them. It's not perfect yet, but hey, yeah, it's going to be pretty nice. It's going to be pretty good. Going into sensitivity, let's check this. So we're going to roll it to the right and to the left. There we go. And it's getting right on the spot there. And for pitch, let's push it forward and pull it back. Very nice in my opinion. So smooth. Only thing I would say in my opinion is that the pitch feels a lot more realistic than roll. Roll is a tad loose, but that is if I'm really being mean to it, because so far it's feeling really nice. No dead zone, of course, or very small dead zone. Definitely, even just from this, it's a lot more sensitive than this stick here. I'm going to see that from the wobble. Watching the screen, you can see, I mean, it picks up the wobble really well. Anyway, let's go test this. Okay, so as you can see, I'm holding the GoPro here. Some very shaky camera footage probably coming out of it right now. But we're first going to take a look at the avionics and switch panel. So right now we're sitting here on the ground at Rougham Airfield. And because there's no stands here to take off from, we're actually just starting on the end of a runway right now, which, as you know, means that the aircraft does come started up. So first of all, going to turn off our master switches. There you go, you can see they all come off. And now we're going to get the aircraft started up again. So first of all, we're going to get our battery on. There we go. Alternator on. Both our avionics on, even though I'm not too sure if the Cessna actually has them. Let's see if the lights work. Now the thing that is slightly annoying before we actually start up our lights is that they're not 100% in order. I'm not too sure what aircraft are actually starting this off, but if they're going the 152 or even 172, it doesn't exactly match up. But anyway, let's get our beacon lights on. And there you can see they come on there. Also get our landing lights on as we're on the runway. Nav. And strobe lights on, and there it seems to be a bit of a problem here. They were a bit unresponsive there, but it seems to have sorted itself out. In addition, we've got our magneto starter here, so let's get this one started up. Yep, that works. One thing I would like with that is maybe a spring-loaded system, maybe to flip the switch back after start, but hey, you can't expect everything. This is feeling really good quality so far. We'll get into price and that later when we're on the ground after our first flight, but so far it's feeling really good. Now that everything's started up, we're going to go full throttle straight away. Let's get parking brake off. Full throttle now. There we go. Awesome. Haven't got the longest runway here, it's of course only a grass runway, but we'll start to pull off at 60 knots. Put some rudder input in there. There we go. Woohoo! Yes, you don't need much of this aircraft, I tell you guys. But yeah, the great thing about this is that it really does make you utilise trim, whether that's rudder trim or elevator trim, because it is quite hard to push back. There's a lot of tension there. It's very realistic. And the trim rocker switches, as you can see, trim the wrong way there, they do work very well. I'm putting minimum effort in. I'm going to pull back on the throttle now just a tad. So yes, on the yoke, let's talk about some of the functions we've got. We've got our basic hat switch here, which can make you look around. I've assigned this not 100% correctly, I'll admit. But there we go, that works very well, feels very nice. On the both sides of the yoke, we've also got our trim levers, and we've got a dual system for both of them, which is actually a real life kind of fail-safe, which means if one of the rocker switch fails, you've got the other one. We've also got a big red button on the right side, which I guess is used to push the torque, and we've also got two small white buttons, one here, and one on the back where my other camera can see it, here. And personally, I'm really enjoying it. It's like flying the Cessna all over again. It's a lot more relaxing, I have to admit, than the stick, because even though with the stick you don't actually have to put as much effort in, it means you don't have to trim as much. And that means you don't get an exact feel for the aircraft. Right now I'm completely off the yoke, as you can see, and we're trimmed pretty nicely. We've just got to put tiny little inputs in. We're now going to go back round for a landing. Yeah, I mean, it just feels very nice. It's right at home here in the 152. I'm really loving it. You can see the airfield there. We're going to fly the downwind and then we'll flip ourselves around. Just minimum effort. I mean, it's just like flying again. Honestly, in times of numerous lockdowns, I'm really, really excited to recommend this to you guys. It feels really nice. It puts you back in the control of the plane. This is my first major Microsoft Flight Sim or Flight Sim hardware update. There we go, flying on the downwind now. We're ready to turn soon enough. Let's see how landing with this bad boy is going to go. Yeah, I mean, it's really like, I mean, I'm shocked how similar it is to the real aircraft. Of course, we've got no force feedback. It's not in that price range. I'm not aiming for that market. But I mean, there is something there that makes you feel if your trim is paying off or if you need to trim. Not 100% lined up with the runway, but we'll make do. Right, here we go, turning on final now. And there we have it, guys, our first landing with the Honeycomb yoke. That actually went pretty well, I have to admit. I mean, it's a completely new way of flying, in my opinion. Now, this wasn't actually my first landing with the yoke overall. I've tested it out in the airliners, and I would say at the moment with Microsoft Flight Simulator, it's a big challenge. And that's because, of course, sometimes in the airliners you've got low FPS, and that can make it a bit difficult for me to use. But in the Cessna, I am very impressed. If you want to see some airliner footage, stay tuned on my channel. But I think the Cessna 152 is the perfect aircraft to try this out in and give you my thoughts as I've flown it in real life. And yeah, it is perfect, almost spot on. The only thing I'd like is maybe a bit more tension with the roll. Because to me, it feels quite loose, but not too loose. Let me reiterate, this is really the best value for money yoke out there. It feels really nice, very responsive, 10 times better than my old stick. The switch panel on its own, even though I forgot to handle lights there, is very nice, and it really does add to the value of this as a product. Now let me talk about price. At the moment in the UK, you can get this for around 230 to 250 UK pounds. If you're shopping in the US of A, it comes to around $220, I believe. Now Honeycomb are really starting to get right into the market, bringing out their throttle quadrant as well as some rudder pedals down the line. What do I give it? Well, I have to give it a 10 out of 10. It's really superb. I haven't gone through all of the features in this video. Superb quality, they'd say it's made out of aviation grade materials. I know, although I'm not too sure where they get them from. Of course, I'm not the manufacturer. Incorporating, of course, the yoke and the switch panel was a really good decision because it means it's not just a one-use product, it's got a variety of uses. It also means if you've got the Logitech switch panel, it may not be required as much anymore, which is why you don't see it on my desk. If you want to learn how to fly or you want to improve your flight sim experience, this really is a must-have. I hope you've enjoyed this review. I'll be sure to include... There'll be more videos on Microsoft Flight Simulator and flight sim hardware down the line. But I am going flying with this, so I'm going to end the video here. I'd like to say a massive thank you to every single one of you. With all your support, without it, I would not be able to do stuff like this. I'll be 100% clear on that. I'd also like to say a massive thank you to my business class and first class channel members. My channel members get a shout out. Thank you to Captain Matt Russell, Simon Schmidt 320, BK Cockpits Limited, Penguiny Plays TV, and Whiskey 2 Shots. If you want to become a channel member, click that join button right now. And also remember to check out my Amazon affiliate links for all of the products I use, although I do need to add this yoke on there. I hope you really enjoyed this review. It is bang on. This does cost quite a bit, although trust me guys, it's worth it and is excellent value. I hope you've really enjoyed this video, but from me today, that is all. Bye bye.